Hi everyone, this is Max.
This is Maria.
We're confused.
And excited.
So, the following video is going to be a re-upload.
We have a new channel.
Yes.
Like and subscribe. We hope
Like and
that
subscribe.
you enjoy this one. If you haven't seen it, it's absurd.
Yeah.
Like we are. And that's really all there is to it.
Yep. Cheers. Hi everybody, we're Max and Maria. So, we're back with another segment where we try to convince you guys of an argument. So, today's argument is entitled, Why Aesop's Fables Are a Tool for Oppression.
Hi, I'm Max Griner. I'm 7, and can I go outside?
Sit here and listen to your hegemony.
Okay.
1. Have you ever wondered why your life is not turning out like Aesop's Fables? 2. Who was Aesop exactly?
Number 2.
3. How is this a tool of capitalist oppression again? Okay, so we're gonna dive into 1.
Okay, what are some Aesop's fables? Give me some. Just
So when I was
top
young,
of
I
the
was
dome.
told this one, like the hare and the tortoise.
Yeah.
Like the hare built for speed, evolved for speed.
Really,
The
what-
tortoise
yeah.
carrying his house on his back.
Right. If these
And we're meant to
these
believe-
two were like the different like levels of a product you can buy online,
Yeah.
it's like that tortoise. Like speed is not checked,
No.
grace is not checked. None of these things are checked. It's
Yeah.
like the only thing that's checked is like customer support, and like comes with its own built-in defense system. And then the hare, it's like speed, fast,
agility,
grace,
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. So we're meant to believe that because of his hubris and pride, the hare did not win,
Right.
and the slow tortoise
Mm-hmm.
won.
The diligent, the
The
diligent,
the diligent, humble,
right? Yeah.
hare, we're meant to believe he won.
But-
Have you ever seen that
right.
happen in your life? Have you ever seen? When's the last time you just dropped by a casual 100-meter race and got the first prize? Like, do you think Usain Bolt is a hare or the tortoise? Just think about that. So why?
We're trying to
what
come
are
up
these
with
stories?
like
that
we're trying to come up with even examples in like professional sports, right? And I had to go all the way back to like the 90s. Like I'm not really a sports person, but
Yeah.
like I remember Michael Jordan was always the one who was celebrated as like he's the guy that puts in the work. Right?
Yeah.
He's the guy who put in all like and this is just I'm just saying this is the public image. Who
Yeah.
knows what actually is happening?
I don't know
behind the scenes?
sports.
Nobody
Yeah.
knows. But he was the guy who would like there were stories that he would practice his free throws like
Yeah.
for hours and hours and hours
Yeah.
despite being already great. So
Yeah.
then like when like Shaq would get up there and just miss a free throw for the 100th time in a game and Michael Jordan would just be like boop boop. It's like people are like he wasn't all about the fancy
he's a hard
like,
worker.
layups and everything, right? So that was the image. That was the thing that was presented,
narrative.
and that's why people kind of loved him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
More
then he
than
went
that.
off and tried to play baseball and was
That was a
terrible
whole
at
other
it.
thing.
But which is hilarious. But also like let's not forget he's like 7'30"
Yeah.
and is like built like a tank, dude. So
yeah.
like
Why are they pushing the narrative of you just have to
Right.
work hard and you can overcome anything when we know good and well if he
Yeah.
was 5'2", he would not have been.
right.
Even given
Yeah.
the opportunity to practice.
Exactly.
Like
So,
it's a
yeah.
lie. So
So it's a lie. It's a lie embedded in a truth. It's like
Yeah.
you know what is it? The most painful lies are the ones that are partly
have
true,
a hint
right?
of truth. I agree.
Alfred Lord the Beast from X-Men.
You know, fox and the sour grapes. So I told that
Yeah.
the fox is now like shame on him. He didn't even
Right.
have the grapes and he's all sour. Like, don't you know so many people in life who have the grapes
Right. And
and
they're,
are still sour
and they're the best grapes
and
they're
they're
sour,
having fun.
but people keep giving them more grapes for no
Yeah.
reason.
And the
know?
reckoning doesn't come.
Right. And Captain Kirk cheated at the Kobayashi Maru maneuver, and that's the
Yeah.
whole thing, you know, and then
So
got promoted.
don't tell me like you don't know these people. These people
Right.
exist. So what are these stories?
Yeah.
What's a third story that's Aesop fable?
Well, see that you would have to use Wikipedia. Get to the fables, man.
You know.
Boom. Okay, Ants and Grasshopper. You know that Disney movie Ants, or that Pixar movie Ants, or any movie about ants?
Yeah.
Where the grasshopper is always the villain, right? Because the grasshopper is lazy
Yeah.
and sits around and doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And in one of
the
those
ants are
movies,
like
the grasshopper's like the evil overlord too, but just leaving that aside.
leaving that aside. Yeah, the ant is here working. You know, he slaves away
Right.
like
And then when winter
after
comes,
work. after work he goes to his second job,
Yeah.
and on the weekend he's online trying to grow his side
Right.
hustle.
Much like Michael Scott.
He takes weekend classes to improve his skills. He takes online courses.
Right.
He saves his money and like has a 401k.
Right. And the
Meanwhile-
grasshopper is the lazy boss who's sitting in the side office. Stick to the script, make the sale.
Guy
Just
who's like-
oversimplifying everything.
Yeah, clocks off at 12 on a Friday and takes the client to the strip club.
Right, yeah.
And embezzles the petty cash.
Yeah.
So we're meant to believe that we are the ants and we just keep trying in our
Yeah.
little like humble path.
Right.
Eventually, we're gonna get the boss job.
Right.
He'll be fired in this tremendous. He'll be cut out. It's the winter and he has no food. And our diligent work is gonna pay off.
My crazy brain just photoshopped over that just a picture of a grasshopper, and then it had Ronald Reagan's face. And you know that terrible
Yeah.
brown pea that grasshoppers have?
Oh no!
That's
yeah.
what's trickling
Trickle down
to-
economics.
down the Berlin Wall to the
Yeah,
ants.
exactly. That's
Because political
Boom.
cartoons,
Photoshop that.
as we all know, are not hilarious at all.
so okay. So look at those fables. Just think about what you've seen and what you are told. Okay.
Yeah.
So then you ask yourself, who is Aesop?
Aesop is described as a strikingly ugly slave,
Eh,
with the Greek word for that next to it
what?
from, 600 BC or
Why
something.
is he remarkably ugly, Jesus?
Who's it's okay. Now again, take this with a grain of salt
'Cause
because
this
it's
is-
ancient Greece.
Yeah.
So if you picture a grain of salt so big that it's actually a marble statue of a dude,
And note that the only source about Aesop's history
is Wikipedia.
is Wikipedia, right? Like
Probably not. Probably there's many.
the only source we're gonna look at.
And so that should tell you
That
something.
should tell you something.
It's like this song is
90%
called
of users.
Alice's Restaurant. It's about Alice and the
Yeah.
restaurant, which is not the name of the restaurant,
Yeah.
but it's the name of the song, which is why we call the song Alice's Restaurant. Right? The first
Confusion.
rule of Tautology Club is the first rule of Tautology Club.
You-
Anyway.
you have to be taught.
Can I be a fabulous?
Double entendre. Okay, so who is
Can I be
this?
a fabulous?
What is a fabulous?
Is a fabulist. Okay, so according to the legends, he's a writer. He's a writer of fables. He's a writer of fables. Who, by his cleverness, acquires freedom and becomes an advisor of the king of city-states.
So the current narrative of how we know Aesop is itself a fable of
Yeah.
how somebody
Oh,
was
and-
enslaved and was so entertaining that he was set free. How did we get to know about Aesop? How did we?
3 different pieces of literature in the 40s, mostly. One of them, let me just read this.
Yeah.
Was A.D. Wintel's Aesop,
Of course.
a
Plotting fictional biography described in a review of the time as so boring.
that it makes the fables embedded in it seem complacent and exasperating.
Huh.
The other 2 works. Now again, how has this become something that's stuck
Yeah.
around?
Right.
The other 2 were kind of like a fictional life. There was one, some John Vornholt wrote The Fabulist. I guess this is in the 90s. Where an ugly mute slave is delivered from wretchedness by the gods and blessed with a wondrous voice. No realistic vision of how a person could actually elevate themselves. Just like,
Right.
and then
So that's interesting. So that actually brings us to our third point, which is, what do you mean it's a tool for oppression? So I think it's quite interesting to see how current narratives around Aesop
right, yeah,
are shaped, really. So I feel like when the first billionaires are being made, the
Yeah.
first people who are industrialists, like billionaires from
Yeah.
industry versus inherited wealth.
the Bushes, World War
You
II,
know,
war profiteering,
Like even I'm talking
weapons
Carnegie
stealing.
and that kind of thing. At that time is when Aesop's fables started to be told and to grow
Right.
in the Western world. Obviously, there are Aesop's fables been around, but why
Right.
why so
They were
popular?
like rediscovered.
Rediscovered,
as, like, the thing. It's
re
kind of like how,
upheld as the way
Yeah.
to be. Those particular moral values were chosen for a reason.
it's kind of like
Those-
how in
yeah.
2012, like all the conservative Christians suddenly fell behind like the whole legend of like the Mayan wheel of time.
yes.
It's like the world is ending.
Yeah.
I'm like, excuse me,
Yeah.
I don't use this word lightly, but bitch, Since when did you listen to the Mayans?
The Mayans.
You showed up and fucking exterminated the Mayans in the name of Christianity, and now you want to come tell us that their stone calendars mean something about your...
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
I think that's the interest. That's for me is the crux of the argument. The reason you've never seen that tortoise actually winning, or like 99 times out of 10 the hare does win, is because that is the truth. The hare wins. The person with the bigger resource wins.
Right.
And to keep us with our minds closed, that's why they tell us, like, be like the ant, be humble, don't ask many questions, use your weekends to sign up for the Great Courses Plus.
Right. Sponsored by no one.
Nobody.
It's the thing that we recently saw someone had posted something about how like a long work week is actually beneficial to keep people from keep people as model consumers. Okay.
So we have a long work day. People have argued of why it's not good, it's not efficient. People are saying you can actually get all that done.
In Sweden, they work 6 hours a week and accomplish 17,000
But why is it still the case?
So people say that maybe it's the case because a long work week keeps people spending money. Because when you get home from a long work day where you've been
tired
through the ringer and tired and everything, all you want to do is just consume. Yeah. You don't want to create. You don't want to. You don't have time to be inventive. You don't have time to go out and exercise and be athletic. You just want to go and consume. Yeah. And so that's like, and nobody can be blamed for that. That we all know that like, actually, we're more productive when we take breaks and stuff. But
the data is in.
Holding on to the belief that we need that long
We need to work. You're a moral upstanding citizen by working 40 hours a week, 9 to 5. Right. So, coming back to this, I think if you haven't been convinced, we are certainly convinced that Aesop's fables are a tool for oppression. Yeah. And the lesson for me is, the qualities that will get you to your next level are the qualities of the grasshopper,
it's like zoom
fox, and the hare.
It's like zoom
learn
out.
From them.
The hare is the one telling you the story with all the extra time.
The hare is the one telling you the story.
Hare I gotta put my computer over here. The hare is the one who has the time to tell the story because all that time the hare was messing around.
Yep.
Networking, making the right connections with the fans.
Joining the old boys club.
While the turtle is like, I am literally carrying my house. Yeah. And then
mortgage, you're carrying your house.
Whatever. How many Ks? 7 Ks. 5 Gs.
I have to say that again because it's such a bar. You're carrying a house on your back with your mortgage, like the tortoise. Bars or no bars?
Bars. Straight bars.
You're carrying a heavy load. So we learn from the others. Like, open your eyes. This is my conspiracy theory channel.
I've become too lazy to edit actual clips, and so just picture a robot unicorn running along an infinitely long and increasingly difficult rainbow bridge, and open your eyes.
Bye.